Well, hello, I'm Alex, and today I've got an idea for making zines. So you can use this simple zine format to develop a daily practice. It's small, it's little, you can take it with you anywhere you go. It's perfect for prompts, and it's perfect for when you don't have time. You know how I'm always saying, it's easy to spend a few minutes a day in creative play. I'm sure some of you are like, well, it's easy for you to say you're an artist. So, I'm making these videos for you to take play breaks with me. This is your creativity timeout, baby. Just grab whatever supplies you have on hand, work alongside me, don't worry. I'm keeping this no fuss fabulous, easy peasy. Go ahead, check it out. We're back to daily play with zines, and now we've moved on to collage. So today's prompts are called collage squares, and I'm going to show you 3 different ways you could start playing with collage, and you just take it from there. All these prompts are just jumping in points to get you going, and then you can have fun, set a timer if you're only going to do it for 10 or 15 minutes, and your goal is always to just do 1 page of your zine. So if you need to see how to fold a zine, I have a video that's called How to Fold a Zine. If you need to make your own collage fodder, I've got a video called How to Make Collage Fodder. And let's just get going here. So one of the easiest things you can do is just to cut your fodder into squares. And honestly, I've never met anyone who hasn't had fun doing this. So let's see what happens. Examples. This is an example where I've used magazine pages, 3 different ones I think, or maybe 4 different ones, and just cut that into squares and made what I would call a quilt or patchwork, you know. So this looks like a quilt because the whole page is filled. Of course, this is bigger than your zine, so this is twice as big. If you have pages that have text on them, that's fine too, okay? So it doesn't all have to be images, even though I'm attracted to cutting out pages for collage that have lots of colors on them. It could be just text and limited colors. Let's get going here. So what I would do is grab a bunch of fodder and sort of line it up here a little bit so that you could maybe cut a couple strips at the same time. That would be, let's see here, that would be really helpful. I'll save us a little bit of time here. Okay, so these are all pretty much lined up. So if you look at the zine size, if you're using a standard piece of, you know, regular paper, like office paper, I think I could get 3 columns and then maybe 4 columns. So I don't think they're going to be perfect squares, but I think 12 squares is a good number to start with here. So if I were to think about how wide that should be, and this is not about perfection, of course. Okay, so what did I get here? So does that look about right if I were to cut these into squares? And then if it's fine if it sticks over, because as soon as the glue dries you can trim that. So I think these strips are good enough for me. Let me actually switch places here. Let me put my strips here. So different strips. This one I could use a couple times because maybe I want the blue on one. It's nice to have some solid colors in there. So I've already used these. And how about I grab some more? So what if I cut this guy, this guy, this guy. Oop, this guy might be a little hard here. Yeah, I don't think I can use that guy. Let's see. I'll leave that one out. All right, let's do the same thing. Approximately the same width. And look at that, ready to go. Ready to go, ready to go. I'm gonna trim this one. Okay. So, and now I would grab the strips again. Maybe put the smallest one on top so that you can see it better. And what I would do is cut 3 sets of squares here. Having trouble getting these to line up. I don't know what's going on there. Okay. So what if I did that? And what if I did that again? Okay. Are these perfect squares? No. Do I care? No. Let's get going here. All you need is your collage fodder. Sorry, I should have said this earlier. For these videos where we're just playing with collage fodder and zines, all you need is the fodder, the glue stick, and some scissors, and some scrap paper for when you're working with the glue so that you don't get your desk or your table dirty. All right, let's go. Okay. So, I'm just gonna randomly stick these on. I swear the faster you work, oops, I just did that on the wrong side. Oh, let's let that guy dry. The faster you work, the more fun you're gonna have. And I actually leave space between my squares, but you could make them touch. But since I'm using colored paper here, I actually like seeing that color in the background. I like seeing that come through. If you were using, I don't know, you could be recycling something, repurposing some paper. Maybe you don't want to see the background, and then you would just cover it all up. Should you be doing them row by row? Yeah, maybe. But then I would have to think a little bit harder about what I'm going to put where. So my attitude is just to let my eyes tell me where to put these guys, and then I'll come in, and if I have to trim a few, or if I have to overlap a few, I'm okay with that. What else do I have here? Oh, I really like this one, even though he's really skinny. Look at that. Perfect. So this one got skinny, but it's perfect for that corner. What else can I put down? Okay, I'm gonna, oh, I haven't done the green yet. Where would I like the green? Probably up there. Oh, what's happening here? I don't know, my glue stick is malfunctioning. Huh. I'm just gonna grab another piece of paper here. Clean off my glue stick. It's so hot that my glue stick is not, it's kind of melting. Okay. sort of globbing. I have to press, can't press so hard because it's just too hot. All right, I think blue would be nice. So I'm gonna cut myself a wee bit here with blue. Check that out. And then now I could use the orange. I just couldn't cut it into a strip very well. What if I did that and that, and then I would only need 2 more. And for those 2, maybe I could repeat this guy just a little bit bigger. Interesting, I don't think I want it on the same side though, so I'm going to flip it like this. So let me get these bits down, and then I'll just need 1 more bit and we'll be done with the first one. So you see, this can go as fast or as slow as you want it to. Honestly, if you want to take your time and cut really nice equal sized squares, if that's gonna make you happy, take a little bit more time. I'm going to show you 3 different ways to play, so I need to go a little quicker here. All right, what do you think I should put there? Of the colors I have here, I haven't used this guy. I really like it. Do I overlap it or do I trim it to fit? So it's funny, the last bit here is the one that's taking me the longest because I'm squeezing it into a tiny spot. Okay. There you go. Perfect. So this would be what I call a collage squares quilt. That's one way to play. Another way to play would be to do a checkerboard, and because we're using beautiful yellow paper, all we'd have to do is let the paper show. So here's an example of that. You see, not only is this a checkerboard, I'm only using 1 magazine page, so I've only got 1 kind of fodder. The other color of my checkerboard is the paper itself, and I put the image in a way where you can still understand the image. So it's kind of like deconstructing an image, which is really fun to do too. So that's another thing you can do. The only thing is that the zines are so small, it's kind of hard to do that. But if you had a larger piece of paper, or if you were doing this in your sketchbook, perfect. Cut out a magazine page that has faces, has a lot of interest to it, cut it up into squares, line it up the way it should be, then remove every other square so that you end up with a checkerboard. We're actually going to use this paper because I thought it was really pretty. So this is also from a magazine, and it's just got all these beautiful flowers all over it. How about we do a checkerboard here? So easy peasy, we do the same thing. I'm going to cut my strips. Let's just see what that would look like. Then I cut this into squares. So this is already bent a little. I'm just gonna go like that. These are kind of big, I think. Maybe I made these too big. So what if we made a mini checkerboard, since we're using less fodder? How about I make a mini checkerboard? So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to scan that and let you see what that looks like. So I don't know how many rows I'm going to get. Let's see. Yeah, maybe I'll get 4 rows. I'll get 4 rows across. So I'm going to do a mini checkerboard with this one. Basically, I'm going for this look with this paper, and I'll scan it so you can see that. So that's another option. Do a full-on quilt. Do a checkerboard. What else can you do? Well, you could, if you made your zine out of magazine paper, right? If you actually started with a magazine paper zine, then if you picked something like black and white, if you picked a black and white page from a magazine ad, made your zine, then you can do everything we just did. You can do the full-on quilt, you can do the checkerboard, and you can also use what you see of the image to play and just add squares randomly. So I've got some examples here. So this magazine image was this woman on the beach, and I just went in. I had this really colorful magazine page that had like boats on it, but they were all different colors, and there was a lot. So I just went through and added shapes. This one was a black and white one, and I added fodder that was all yellow. What I thought we could do today is take this gift wrap paper that I have and use it to play with, to do the checkerboard on this one. Well, not the checkerboard, I just did the checkerboard. Sorry. We're going to do the one that I call like random. So let me just cut this paper up a little bit. So now I think what would be fun to do, just to switch things up, maybe you've spent a day of your playtime making a little quilt, and the next day you did a checkerboard, and then you don't want to repeat those, you want to do something else. Well, you could either stick on part of, you could actually inside your zine stick part of a magazine page on there to keep playing, or you could have started with a magazine page like I did here, and then you could take something that really is completely different from your background. So this wrapping paper is perfect, and you could just stick it on wherever you want. So let's see if there's something here that sort of inspires me. Just see what happens when you pick a page. Let me keep this open for a second. What happens when you pick a page and you just decide to cut up your fodder, which in this case is gift wrapping paper. What happens if you just play with, and they don't, you know, here we're not thinking of size, we're just thinking of having fun with a few things, a few little bits here. What if you gave yourself the prompt to cut out 3 bits of fodder, of the same fodder, and stick them down in a way that's pleasing to you. Maybe you even cut into them, so we're leaving the square idea behind here, and we're just, what could we do? We're just playing. Maybe you could do something like that, or like this. Yeah, maybe something like that. You could even, so now you can play with scale, and you can play with colors. So I've got pink flower, white flower, white flower. Let's see. I'm just gonna go like that, otherwise I could. So even though you're gluing down less pieces, it takes a little bit longer sometimes when you're composing. So really this prompt about cutting squares is really not about composing. It's about quickly letting your eye guide you to putting the squares in a certain order. But if you've done that a few times and now you're just thinking, well, what am I going to do next that's different? Well, challenge yourself to use the same kind of fodder, like a gift wrap. Challenge yourself to only put down 3 or 4 bits. Or do the opposite. Challenge yourself to put down 20 bits. You know what I mean? As long as you're sticking down something every day, you'll get ideas for the next thing, I promise you. Okay, so there's an example of sort of randomly sticking down 3 shapes. And then, you know, maybe I did the quilt here, I did the checkerboard, I did something like 3 or 4 shapes here. By the time I get here, maybe I'll do another checkerboard and it'll play off of this where the first piece I lay down. So let yourself go random too. You don't have to go in order. Sometimes it's fun to do one thing here, skip a few pages, do another thing. And then when you get to that, because you can see what's already there, then it might spark you to do something in a different way. So play with that as well. Okay, I hope you had fun taking this tiny play break with me. Be honest, it was super easy. You know, when it comes to your creativity, it's never about what you're making. It's about how you feel while you're making it, right? Okay, I've got lots more videos on my YouTube channel here, so subscribe, stay tuned, play. Come back and get your daily dose of make stuff feel good energy. Thank you so much for being here.